I am in the middle of nowhere. In that direction, Brisbane, 1500 k's away. In that direction, Adelaide, 1800 k's away. And in that direction, desert. Nothing but desert. The Simpson Desert, the largest collection of dunes in the world. What better place to test the chops of a 4x4 than here? And we're here to test this, the new Amarok, the 580 Highline. That's right, Volkswagen are now offering their most powerful Amarok engine in a more affordable trim. Arriving here way back in 2010, with branding odds and a 2-litre engine stacked against it, the Amarok had a tough fight ahead. But Volkswagen had more than a few tricks up its sleeve to keep the Amarok in the game. And the biggest trick is this, a 3-litre V6. While many rivals are aiming to downsize their engines, Volkswagen has reached deeply into its parts library to bring you the 580 engine with class-leading power figures. This new Highline 580 makes for a more affordable alternative to the Ultimate, which sits above it. Its pricing now places the 580 engine within reach of top-spec 4-cylinder rivals. Think Ford Ranger's Wildtrak, think Toyota's Hilux Rugged X, and it even undercuts Mercedes-Benz's X-Class V6 by quite a margin. And it looks good too. The Amarok sticks closely to the pillars of Volkswagen design while beefing it up a bit, but not to the point where it looks like it's trying too hard to be a ladder frame with some panels on it. It's muscular then, but it's also no Ranger or Hilux when it comes to raw, rugged appeal. It's worth noting that our desert test car has all-terrain tyres, a roof platform and leather seats that normally sit on the options list. So what else do you get as part of the Highline package? Well, you get these gloss black fittings in the grille and underneath, you get gloss black alloy wheels, and you also get a black sports bar out the back, as well as some black interior headlining, and that sets it apart from the rest of the Amarok range. In a way, you have to appreciate the restraint. Volkswagen has made the Amarok muscular but not pretentious, and along the way managed to give an off-roader with a ladder frame the exterior panache almost that of an SUV. Inside, the theme continues. Are you ready to commute to Frankfurt? Because inside the Amarok, it'd have you feeling like it's no different from a Golf. Check out all these luxe touches. There's this delicate leather-bound steering wheel, these lovely comfortable seats, and some premium Volkswagen switchgear. You could perhaps argue that the Amarok goes a little too far in this area. I'd almost feel bad sullying this interior with tools and mud and work gear. It's still a cozy place to be though. The interior is kind of brilliant, but there are some letdowns, like this multimedia touchscreen. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but at under 7 inches it's tiny compared to the size of the cabin. Let's take a look in the back. Now in here you get the same comfy seat trim, but where it really shines is how wide this car is. You could genuinely fit 3 adults across here in decent comfort levels for long drives. What it could use a little more of is knee room. We did a recent comparison test and found that the Ranger actually has a little more in this department, but it's still not too bad. And headroom is excellent. Where else could it improve? Well, the Amarok still lacks rear airbags, and that's really on the top of our wish list. In fact, safety features make up most of our Amarok wish list. While it does get an innovative multi-collision braking system and trailer sway control as standard, it's still missing active items like auto emergency braking. That's getting even more important now that big-name rivals like the Toyota Hilux and Ford Ranger now have at least AEB as standard. Now, what you've been waiting for? The drive experience. Audi Q7, Porsche Cayenne, and now Amarok Highline as well. You've got the 580 3-litre V6 engine and it hammers. You have 190 kilowatts and 580 newton meters on tap, and that is plenty. It feels like you can pull anything up a hill. Sand doesn't slow you down as we tried earlier. It feels like you draw from a limitless pool of torque. Volkswagen knows what's up as well. They haven't paired this engine with a dual clutch auto like what appears in the rest of their range. You've got an 8-speed, more traditional torque converter setup, and that's meant for handling more load, especially when you're off-road or towing and whatever you need to do. And we have driven dual cabs with autos that have more speeds to them. Like there's a 10-speed now in the Ranger, and it's at risk of feeling a bit fiddly in the corners and stuff like that. And I think 8 speeds is about the right amount of ratios you want. On the road, it's truly unlike any other dual cab in terms of suspension feel and road feel and even steering. It could be that you're just driving an SUV in here. It's really comfortable. Now, in terms of gear, you get a mechanically locking diff and a computer-controlled all-wheel drive system. There's no transfer case, there's no low range or anything like that. I still think it's all most buyers need. If you really permanently live somewhere out here, maybe you'd need, that kind of low range gear, but I don't think the majority of Amarok buyers are going to need it anyway. So there you have it. We're now back at the edge of civilization here in Birdsville, and for what it's worth, the Highline 580 has survived everything we've had time to throw at it. And sure, it could use a bigger multimedia screen, it could use an active safety update, but it's so hard to argue with the fact that you're now getting that thumping, top-of-the-line engine at a lower cost than ever. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and remember, you can always read the full review over on carsguide.com.au.